A pleasant day to each and everyone. Today we are going to discuss the Module 1 of your financial management subject, which is the Introduction to Financial Management. So the learning objectives for this module is for you to define the finance management and the three key elements to the process of financial management. And also, you should identify the major areas and opportunities available in the field of finance. We're also going to discuss and determine and also compare the legal forms of business organization and also the managerial finance function and its relationship to economics and accounting. We will also determine the roles of financial manager, identify the goal of the firm, corporate governance, the role of ethics, and the agency issues, and also discuss business taxes and their importance in finance. The overview of this module is that, and also of the financial management as a whole, is that finance plays an important role in the student's professional and even personal life. So when you become a professional, you will be needing the knowledge that you will learn from this subject. And also, each chapter of this book or this module emphasizes the relevance of the topics in two majors in accounting, management, marketing, operations, and information system. Also, in this chapter or in this module, you will be introduced into the fields of finance and the opportunities in the financial services and managerial finance. So I know that hindi naman kayo accountancy or finance major, but you are involved in management. So it is also important for you to learn this kind of things. Okay, the basic legal forms of business organization will also be discussed in this module. We will identify their strengths and weaknesses. And also the managerial finance function will also be identified here. So ano ba yung function ng managerial finance? Ano ba ang relevance nito with economics and accounting? Ano ba ang role ng financial manager? Kasi 'di ba, if kayo in the future you will be entrepreneurs and managers and also business owners. So kapag ka business owner ka, yung function ng financial manager nasa yun na rin eh, 'di ba? And also kung manager ka ng isang negosyo. So dapat you have these skills and this you will be having this role, okay, in the future. So that's why this subject is also relevant to you. And then also the role of ethics in achieving these goals is presented. So kailangan talaga napakahalaga ng ethics, lalo na when it comes to financial management. Kasi di ba sa financial management, we are talking about finances. Pag sinabi nating finances, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay funds or pera. Ayan. So, the next one is for you to learn what financial management is. So, ano nga ba talaga ang financial management? So, financial management is about preparing, okay? So, we will highlight those words. So, it is about preparing, directing, and managing the what? The money. Activities of a company. Okay, kaya nga financial management, it pertains to the activity that involves money. So ano yung mga activity na yon? So ito yon, they are the buying, selling, and using money to its best results. So what is the intention for using that money? That is to maximize the wealth or produce best value for money. Okay. So basically, it means applying a general management concept to the cash of the company. So kaya nga, every individual talaga should learn financial management because um, we should learn how to manage our cash, be it business related or be it personal cash. Okay? So taking a commercial business as the most common organizational structure, the key objective of financial management would be to create what? That is to create wealth for the business, generate cash, and provide an adequate return on investment. So every business kasi, there is an investment. So investors or owners are expecting results from their investment. And in order to give result or to give an adequate return, so the business should create wealth and it should generate cash. Okay? And then when it comes to personal finance, okay, it deals with an individual's decisions concerning the spending and investing of income. So it includes answers to how much of their earnings should they spend, how much should they save, and how should they invest their savings. So, di ba, when you have fund, um, kailangan mong pag-isipan saan mo ba gagastusin yung pera na yon, di ba? Kung may sobra, isi-save mo ba siya? Or i-invest mo ba yung savings mo? And also, kayo, di ba, as a student, na i-encounter nyo rin ito. When you were given money, o sa ngayon kasi pandemic, so walang allowance, ano. Pero nung hindi pa pandemic, wherein you are given allowances, nagkakaroon kayo ng personal finance. Kasi di ba binabudget nyo, dinidecide nyo, ano ba yung kailangan yung bilhin muna, di ba? Pag dumating yung allowance, ano yung pinaka kailangang bilhin first, at ano saan dapat i-allocate yung fund, lalo na kung hindi ganun ka-enough yung fund na ibibigay sa inyo or allowance na ibibigay sa inyo ng parents nyo. Okay? And then business finance, this involves same type of decision focusing on how to raise money from investors and how to invest money to earn, reinvest profits of the business. Ayan. So, yun naman yung business finance. So, there are three key elements in the process of financial management. So, these are the key elements. The first one is the financial planning. Okay. So, ito napakahalaga nito because before executing strategies or going on with the operation of the business, dapat there should be a financial planning wherein the management ensure that enough funding is available at the right time to meet the needs of the business. Kasi 'di ba, if sasaba ka kaagad sa operation without financial planning, hindi mo alam kung there will be enough fund or money para ma-sustain yung needs ng business mo in order to operate smoothly. Okay, in the short term, funding may be needed to invest in equipment and stocks, pay employees, and fund sales made on credit. Pag sinabi natin short term, ito yung planning na immediate. Not really immediate, pero short term lang dahil ang mga funding na ito yung mga pagbibili ng mga stocks, pagbili ng equipment, pagbabayad mo sa mga empleyado, di ba, ng sweldo, okay, pagbili mo ng merchandise, pag sabi natin stocks or merchandise or products, and mabenta pag utang yung goods. Pero you have enough fund para kahit nakautang yung kahit nasa receivable yung fund mo, meron ka pa ring cash para pambili syempre ng another product na ibebenta mo naman. Kasi kapag ka nagkamali ka dito sa management dito, mahihirapan ka because you will not have enough fund to operate your business. So, in the medium and long term naman, funding additions to the productive capacity of the business or to make acquisition. Ang example nito, yung kapag ka mag-e-expand ka o kaya you will buy additional property to expand your business, you will put up a branch on other towns. Ayan. So, ito ay medium and long-term funding ang kailangan. The next one is the financial control. Financial control helps the business ensure that the objectives are being met. Okay, so financial control determines if assets are secured and are being used. When we say efficiently, okay, pag sinabi nating efficiently using the resources or assets, it means ginagamit mo ng tama. Kumbaga, minimized ang waste, minimized ang losses, and then hindi masyadong nakukonsume ang resources sa pag-achieve ng goals. Okay? At ang nakakatulong dito, yung tinatawag nating financial control. Kasi nga, when we say control, okay, ito yung nag-i-ensure na yung objective ay nami-meet ng company. Okay? And it also identifies if the management act in the best interest of shareholders and in accordance with business rules. Kasi 'di ba, pag sa corporation, kadalasan ang nagma-manage ng business is not or are not the owners themselves. 'Di ba? They are not the shareholders but they are the board of directors, and then meron tayong tinatawag ng mga executives like CEO or CFO. Sila talaga yung nagma-manage nun. Kaya nagkakaroon ng conflict kasi syempre as shareholder, ang gusto mo bumalik sa'yo yung investment mo, magkaroon ka ng return. Pero mostly naman, pagka nasa management ng corporation, hindi naman sila yung shareholders. So, nagkakaroon ng conflict kasi ang nasa isip naman nila is on how to, minsan, kung paano yung magiging return on their part. Okay? So, financial control, it will help the shareholder identify kung yung management ba ay nag-act sa best interest nila and not on the self-interest of the managers. Okay, the third one is the financial decision making. Okay, so the key aspects of financial decision making include investment, financing, and dividends. So investments must be financed in some way. However, there are always financing alternatives that can be considered which will depend on the source, period of finance, cost of financing, and net present returns generated. So ang ibig sabihin lang nito is ganito. For example, the company is planning to launch a new product. So in order to do so, there should be a research and development. At yung research and development na yun, it needs funding. Okay? Because they are going to formulate a new product line. Ngayon, if it needs funding, kailangan meron tayong source. So dito, di ba, investment, financing. So saan manggagaling yung fund? So maraming kailangang pag-isipan dyan. For example, saan yung source? Gaano ba katagal yung pagbabayad ng interest? Magkano ba yung interest na babayaran kung yan ay uutangin? Kung yan naman ay manggagaling sa investors, how much naman yung return na ipapangako sa kanila. At ito dividends. Dividends naman, ito yung binabalik mo sa shareholders. For example, dun sa investment na yon. Kumuha ka ng mga investor. Okay, they become the shareholders and they gave the funding. And then yung product line na bagong launch is kumita naman. So if it earned profit, okay, dapat bigyan ang shareholders ng dividends. Okay, dividends that are two, ibig sabihin pag yung dividends ay masyadong malaki naman na binibigay, baka naman ma-starve yung funding to reinvest in growing. Kaya kumbaga dapat balance rin. So, hindi naman lahat ng profit kailangan mong ibigay sa shareholders because some of the profit or funds ay dapat ilagay din for another investment. Kasi nga, di ba, pag nilagay mo siya to another investment, kikita pa ulit yung pera. Okay? Okay, the next topic is the scope of financial management. According to Dr. S.T. Saxena, there are 5 A's in financial management. So what are those 5? There are anticipation, acquisition, allocation, appropriation, and assessment. So we will discuss each of them. I will discuss them by citing an example. For example, you are going to put up a poultry farm wherein you are going to take care of chickens and then later on, ibebenta mo rin sila. Okay? So before proceeding to that project, you first need to anticipate or there should be an anticipation. Ano yung ginagawa sa anticipation? You are going to estimate the financial needs of the company. Magkano ba yung kakailanganin na fund para ma-finance yung required resources ng company na itatayo mo or ng project na gagawin mo. For example, we have to estimate kunwari, ilan ba lahat yung chicken na bibilhin mo or chicks pala na bibilhin mo, na aalagaan mo? Magkano yung pagpapatayo ng farm? Tapos, ang alam ko dyan, it should be air-conditioned, di ba? And then also, kailangan may mga empleyado ka, mayroon ka mga caretaker, mag-aalaga ng mga manok. Ayan. So, all the cost, all the expenses, kailangan mo siyang i-estimate para malaman mo kung magkano ba yung fund na kakailanganin mo para ma-operate mo yon. The next one is the acquisition. So, ngayon, alam mo na. So, nagkaroon ka kunwari ng rough estimate. For example, you will be needing a capital. I really don't have an idea regarding the amount of capital that is needed for this kind of business. Pero mag-cite na lang tayo ng example. Mag-estimate na lang tayo. For example, you will be needing 5 million pesos. Okay? So ngayon, ang kailangan mong gawin is to identify saan mo kokolektahin yung 5 million pesos na yun. Saan mo kukunin yun? Diba? For example, you have a savings, meron kang naitabi, pangpuhunan, kunwari meron kang 2 million, so kulang ka pa ng 3 million. So, saan mo kukunin yon? Pwedeng kumuha ka ng partner, di ba? Na mag-i-invest. For example, nakakuha ka ng isang partner at mag-i-invest siya ng another 2 million. So, ilan na lang ang kulang? 1 million na lang. So, you decided, yung partner mo at ikaw, nag-decide na, okay, iutang na lang natin yung 1 million. So, nabuo na yung 5 million mo. So, that is the acquisition. Kasunod is allocation. E di may funds ka na. I-allocate mo naman sila. For example, magkano ba para ma-purchase yung mga fixed assets. Ano ba yung fixed assets? For example, the building o kaya yung lupa na pagtatayuan ng building, the equipment na kakailanganin doon sa building nyo. Okay? Ano naman yung mga current assets? These are the supplies. These are the chicks. Current assets yan eh. Kasi yan yung product mo, ibebenta mo yan eh, aalagaan mo. Yan yung mga feeds. Okay? Yan yung inventory mo. And also, magkano naman yung iaalat mo para sa operation. Yan. So, yun yung allocation. The next one is the appropriation. So, appropriation naman is distribute the part of the company profit among the shareholders. So, kunwari, tapos na. Ang nangyari, naging successful yung pag-aalaga nyo ng chicken. Okay? At naibenta nyo na. And then you earn a profit. So, paano mo naman i-distribute ang profit? Ito ba ay pwedeng paghahatian nyo ng dalawa? O ibabayad nyo muna dun? Di ba may utang na 1 million? Ibabayad nyo muna ba yung part para mabawasan yung utang? Okay? At pag may natira pa, pwede nyo yung i-keep as what? Reserves. Okay? So, pwedeng itabi nyo muna. Kasi pwede nyo yung maggamit for another investment na naman. Para yung kinita nyo na yun ay kumita ulit ng panibagong profit. And the next one is the assessment. So, it means controlling all the finances of the company. So, kailangan talaga dyan lagi may control. For example, di ba nag-allocate ka kasi, di ba? So, kunwari, nag-allocate ka ng 1 million para dun sa building. So, i-assess mo siya. 1 million nga ba talaga yung nagastos? O sumobra ba yung nagastos doon? So, you have to check if the objectives are met. And you should determine what you can do about it. For example, nag-allocate ka ng ganitong fund for the expenses for the whole operation. Pero ang nangyari, mas malaki yung na-incur. So, you have to assess. Bakit mas malaki? You have to assess kung ano ba yung gastos na masyadong malaki. Para pag nalaman mo yun, pwede kang gumawa ng mga actions para ma-correct yun. Okay? Okay, the next is the finance areas and career opportunities. So ano ba yung mga major areas in the field of finance? The first one is the financial service. This is concerned with the design and delivery of advice and financial products to individuals, businesses, and governments. Ang example nito ay ito sa banking, personal financing planning, investments, real estate, and also insurance. Ayan. So, yun yung mga financial services. Another one is managerial finance. So, it is concerned with the duties of financial manager working in a business. So, kumbaga, para kang consultant dito. Okay, it encompasses the financial planning or budgeting. Pwede rin naman na hindi ka consultant, pero you are working as a manager or financial manager in a certain company. Here you are going to prepare nga financial planning, tapos extending credit to customers, obtaining funds for the firm. Ayan. So managerial finance is the management of firms' funds within the firm. So the career opportunities here are financial analyst, capital budgeting, and financial manager. Okay, so that is managerial finance. So the recent global financial crisis and subsequent responses by government regulators increased global competition and rapid technological change also increased the importance and complexity of the financial manager's duty. Kasi nga, di ba tayo ngayon, globalized na tayo. Okay? Kaya, dahil doon, Maraming mga technological change, napakabilis ng mga pagbabago, okay? And mas naging complex pa yung duties ng financial manager. That's why, because of increasing globalization, ayan, it also increased demand for financial experts who can manage cash flows in different currencies and protect against the risks that naturally arise from international transactions. So here, napakahalaga kasi ng managing ng funds. Kasi syempre, di ba, imagine if sa business mo, nawala na lang bigla yung fund mo. So, anong mangyayari sa'yo, di ba? So, it is very essential na ma-manage ng maayos yun. Lalo na kung yun ay international transactions. Kasi pag international transactions, marami kang dapat i-consider. Unang-una na dyan ay yung changes sa currency value, di ba? Exchange currency rate. Yan. So, kailangan mo rin yan i-consider. So, the following are professional certifications of finance. We have the Chartered Financial Analyst, yan, CFA. We have the Certified Treasury Professional, or CTP. Certified Financial Planner. The other one, American Academy of Financial Management. And then, Professional Certification in Accounting. So, dito pumapasok yung CPA. Yan. CPA, CIA, CMA. Yan. So, diniscuss lang natin for you to have an overview of what financial management is. Ano ba yung, kumbaga sa ano, kikilalanin nyo kung ano ba yung area na to, kung ano ba yung world ng financial management. So, legal forms of business organization. The first one is sole proprietorship. So, ito, kayo naman ay aware na dito. I think it was discussed or naituro na ito sa inyo ng other professors ninyo sa ibang subject, pero dadaanan pa rin natin at i-connect natin siya sa financial management. So, a sole proprietorship is a business owned by one person and is operated for his or her own profit. So, alam niyo naman, pag sole proprietorship, isa lang ang may-ari nito, and then, siya yung legally responsible for the debts and taxes of the business. Siya rin ang nagmamanage nito. Ang example din nito ay ito, wholesale, retail, service, and construction industries, wherein kadalasan, isa lang ang may-ari. So, there are various advantages in forming sole proprietorship. Ano yung una doon? Una, simple. Ano pa? The owner has freedom to make all decisions and also enjoy all the profit. Wala siyang kahati siya lang kasi ang may-ari. Tapos, napakasimple lang ng pagmamanage kasi wala din namang ibang magde-decide, kundi siya din lang. Okay? And also, it has a minimal legal restrictions and government regulation. So, kaya nga pag sole proprietorship ka, hindi mo na kailangan magpa-register pa sa SEC. Saan ka lang magpapa-register? Sa DTI lang, di ba? I-register mo lang yung pangalan ng business mo. Tapos, kukuha ka lang ng business permit. Tapos yun, okay na. Pwede ka nang mag-operate. And also, it can be discontinued with great ease. So, kunwari, ayaw mo na, tigil ka na, so walang problema kasi wala kang partner na i-consider dahil ikaw lang ang may-ari. And also, tax rate is relatively at the minimum. Dahil nga kadalasan, pag sole proprietorship, ito naman ay hindi masyadong malaking negosyo. Kaya ang tax rate dito ay kaunti lang. However, the owner may lack, he or she may lack expertise or experience to run the business. That's why this is a disadvantage. Kanina, advantages yung pinag-uusapan natin. This can be a disadvantage. Kasi nga, ikaw yung may-ari, tapos you don't have the expertise or experience in running the business, anong pwedeng mangyari? The business may fail. Okay? And ano pa, the owner may also incur unlimited liability. Okay? Pag kasi meron kang kapartner, hati kayo. Eh, dito, ikaw lang. So, lahat ng utang sa'yo. And then another one, there is a limited availability of outside financing. So, dahil mag-isa ka lang na may-ari, when it comes to financing, ikaw lang din ang magpo-provide ng fund. So, limited lang yung fund na pwedeng ibigay sa business. Okay? So, that is sole proprietorship. The next one is the partnership. Ano naman ang partnership? It is a business owned by 2 or more persons. So, pag dalawa na yan at higit sa isa, yan ay tinatawag na partnership. And there is an agreement called Article of Co-Partnership. Okay? So they are legally responsible for the debts and taxes of the business. So kapag ka naging partner ka dito, hindi pwedeng yung isang partner lang ang magiging responsible sa mga utang at sa tax, kundi lahat ng partners. So partners must agree upon amount each partner will contribute to the business. Okay? So pag nagkaroon ng partnership, pag-uusapan nyo magkano ang contribution ng bawat partner. And then the percentage of ownership of each and also the profits of each partner. Okay? So, kunwari, gusto mo 50% ng partnership or 50% ang percentage of ownership mo. So, dapat mas malaki ang investment mo. Kunwari, kung 3 kayo, ikaw ang malaking investment kasi gusto mo 50% sa'yo. Diba? At pagka gano'n naman, dahil sa 50% yung ownership mo, 50% din ang profit ang mapupunta sa'yo. O gano'n naman yung advantage mo. Pero syempre dapat mas malaki ang i-contribute mo dun sa business. Ano pa? Duties each partner will perform. So, pinag-uusapan din dyan, ano ba ang magiging role ng bawat partner doon sa negosyo? Okay? And the extent that a partner has for the partnership debt. Kasi pwedeng mamili yung partner kung siya ba ay limited partner or general partner. Pag sinabi kasi natin general partner, yung liability niya, pwede to the extent of his personal assets. Okay? Pag sinabi natin limited partner, ang magiging liability niya lang is to the extent ng kanyang contribution doon sa partnership. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwedeng singilin ng mga creditors beyond his contribution. Okay? So, typical partnership ay yung mga nagpo-provide ng professional services. Ano example niyan? Yan, mga medical, dental, architectural, law firms, and also sa amin, pagka mga accountants, partnership lang yan. Hindi kami pwedeng magtayo ng corporation. So with partnership form of business organization, there is an ease also of organization compared to corporation. Mas madali siyang i-organize kasi kailangan mo din siyang i-apply sa SEC. Pero simple lang yung proseso. Tapos, i-verify lang dyan kung may katulad ka ba na name ng business. So, pag wala naman, pwede na siyang ma-approve. Tapos, pag nakapag-register ka na sa SEC, anytime, pwede ka nang mag-operate. Okay? Mas madali siya compared sa corporation. And also, in partnership, there are combined talents. More available brain power and managerial skill. Unlike sa sole proprietorship, isa lang ang nagmamanage. Dito, magkakaroon kayo ng combined talents. Magtutulungan kung paano nyo i-manage yung business. In terms of available financing, it can raise more capital for firm than a sole proprietorship. Siyempre, kasi nga dito marami kayo eh. 'Di ba? So, mas marami yung fund na pwedeng pumasok. However, ito na. There is unlimited liability for general partners. Ayan, yun yung sinabi ko kanina. And limited life for the firm. So, pag general partner ka, unlimited yung liability mo. Ibig sabihin ng unlimited liability, for example, ganito. Yung negosyo nyo tumigil na, but then, may mga naiwan pang utang. Pag ikaw ay general partner, kahit wala nang, naubos na lahat ng asset ng company nyo, pwede ka pa rin habulin ng creditor. Sisingilin ka niya. Ang ipangbabayad mo na, personal money mo na. Kasi nga, wala na yung partnership eh. Wala nang available fund yung partnership. So, ang sisingilin niya, ikaw na. Hindi mo pwedeng idahilan na, ay wala na, bankrupt na yung partnership namin, wala na kami pang bayad. No. Okay? So, ikaw ang sisingilin nun. And also, limited life for the firm. Kasi sa partnership, kapag ka umayaw na yung isa, automatically dissolve na yung partnership. Okay? Kunwari, namatay yung isang partner. O kaya ay naging incapacitated. O kaya umalis ng bansa at umayaw na sa partnership nyo. So, dissolve na yun. Ayan na nga yun, withdraws, dies. And ano pa, it is difficult to liquidate or transfer partnership. Ayan. Hindi mo siya pwedeng basta ma-transfer or ipagpatuloy. May mga proseso na kailangang pagdaanan. 2 or more heads may be better for the firm, but there is also a possibility of divided authority. Yan. So, pag sole proprietorship kasi, isa lang nagde-decide. Pero pag partnership, you have to consider the consent and decision of the other partners. And it could lead to possible what? Disagreement and major decisions and issues. So, yun lang ang disadvantage dito. Paano kung hindi kayo nagkakasundo? When it comes to decision making. Okay, so there may be a disagreement among the partners. And then the last type of business organization is the corporation. So, sabi natin, it is an entity created by law. Kaya nga, mas komplikado ang corporation because a corporation is considered or is treated as an artificial being. When we say artificial, hindi talaga siya tao. Pero, a corporation can do things that a human being can also do. Okay? Ano example nun? Pwede siyang bumili. Pwede siyang magdemanda. Pwede rin siyang idemanda. Okay? Pwede siyang magbenta. So, nagagawa yan ng isang tao, di ba? Ganun din ang corporation because it is considered as artificial being. Why is it considered as artificial being? They have the legal powers of an individual. Ayan, meron siyang legal powers ng isang individual na pwedeng isue and can be sued, make and be party of contract. Pwede siyang pumasok sa isang kontrata. Okay? So, pag sa isang kontrata, ilalagay doon pangalan ng tao at pangalan ng korporasyon. So, pwede yun. Kasi nga, artificial being siya. And it can acquire property in its own name. So, pwede rin siyang bumili ng property at ipangalan niya sa pangalan ng corporation. Okay? It is a publicly or privately owned business entity that is separate from its owners and has a legal right to own property and do business in its own name. Okay? So, kaya nga, pag corporation, ang pangalan ng corporation, mayroon siyang sariling identity. Meron siyang bukod na identity, separate yung entity na yon from the owners. Though ang owners niyan ay shareholders, pero ang corporation ay kumikilos on its own. Okay? It do business in its own name. Okay, but the stockholders are not responsible for the debts and taxes of the business. Yun naman ang advantage nito. Okay, because a corporation is treated as an artificial being, kaya yung stockholders niya, they are not responsible for the debts dun sa utang. Unlike sa partnership, pagka wala nang pangbayad ang negosyo at general partner, pwede siyang singilin ng creditor sa utang ng partnership at ang ibabayad niya ay personal money niya. Pero sa corporation, hindi pwedeng singilin from the personal money ng stockholders. Hindi pwedeng singilin ng mga creditors ang mga stockholders from their personal money. Ang sisingilin nila yung corporation. Okay? Kaya, hindi unlimited ang liability nila. Limited lang ang liability nila. Another one, a corporation is governed by board of directors. Okay? So dito, yung mga shareholders, hindi sila ang nagmamanage ng corporation. These are the board of directors in case of profit organization. Pag not-for-profit organization naman ay may board din sila, board of trustees. Yan, tinatawag yan. Some advantages of forming a corporation include, ayan, yung pinaliwanag ko kanina, limited liability of stockholders, at saka yung tinatawag na perpetual life. Ano ba yung perpetual life? Ang perpetual life, yun yung life nung, unlike di ba pag partnership, pagka umayaw na yung isa, dissolve na yung partnership. Dito, kahit na namatay na yung shareholder, umalis na yung shareholder, yung partnership still exists. Kasi nga, di ba tinatawag natin siyang artificial being. Yung life niya is not affected by the movement, by the in and out of the shareholders. Kasi nga, yung stock, yung certificate of stock or stock ownership, ay pwede yang ipasa sa ibang tao. For example, ako, shareholder ako. Ayaw ko na nung investment ko dun sa company na yon. So, anong pwede kong gawin? Ibebenta ko lang yung shares ko dun sa tao na yon, sa ibang tao. Tapos aalis na ako. So, hindi naapektuhan ang corporation. Ayan, no? There is ease of transferring ownership. Expansion obtaining resources or financing. So, this is one of the great advantage of corporation because they can get numerous investors. Okay? Kaya, marami din yung ma-obtain nila na funds. And also, corporations are bound by relatively more government regulations and restrictions. And it also may be expensive to organize. Totoo yan. Pag tatayo ka ng corporation, hindi ganun katali. Kasi maraming hinihingi na dokumento ang gobyerno. Tapos, hindi ka rin basta-basta pwedeng magsimula ng operation mo. Magsisimula ka lang kapag meron ka lang natanggap na certificate of incorporation. Doon ka palang magsisimulang maging corporation. Okay? For accounting purposes, all forms of business entities are considered separate entities. However, the corporation is the only form of business that is a separate legal entity. Tama yun. Ang ibig sabihin niyan, sa accounting kasi, kahit na ano pa bang form of business organization ka, yung business mo is a separate entity from you. Okay? Ang simpleng example na lang yan, pagka kunwari may negosyo ka, kung pwedeng negosyo, kunwari tindahan ng manok, yung mga nagtitinda ka ng mga manok, mga frozen goods, frozen products, ayan. Yung entity noon, yung pera noon, yung fund noon, yung asset noon, iba yun kesa sa'yo. Hindi mo yun pwedeng isama sa'yo. Kasi meron siyang ibang asset. Yung gastos niya, iba rin. Iba rin kesa sa gastos mo. So, ibig sabihin, pagka may kinuha kang pera sa negosyo, kailangan mo yung bayaran. Kasi pera yun ng negosyo mo. Okay? So, yung tinatawag natin na separate entity. Pero, sabi dito, ang corporation lang daw yung merong separate legal entity. Pag sinabi natin legal entity, because it is created by operation of law. Okay, so ibig sabihin, legally, separate entity talaga ang corporation. Finance, economics, and accounting. So economics is a study of choice. It is a social science that deals with individual or collective economic activities such as production, consumption, distribution, and transfer of money and wealth. Okay, so magkaiba yan eh, magkakaiba yan. Magkaiba ang economics, magkaiba ang finance, magkaiba ang accounting. Pag sinabi nating economics, nagfo-focus siya sa production, yan, consumption, distribution. Kaya nga dito, di ba? Kaya nga dito dinidiscuss yung demand, yung supply, di ba? Demand and supply. And also kung mga strategies, kung saan mas magiging malaki ang return. Ayan. And then also, this is based on the fact that our resources are scarce and need to deliberately and systematically allocated. Okay, totoo yan. Ang resources natin talaga ay laging kulang. Kahit gaano pa kadami yan, kulang at kulang pa rin. Kaya kailangan siyang ma-allocate systematically. Ano naman ang finance? Yung finance nga, yung diniscuss na natin kanina, this is the study of financial allocation and answers the question like where to put your money and why. So, ang pinag-aaralan dito kung paano i-manage ang pera mo, ang fund mo. Okay? Firms operate within the economy and they must be aware of the economic principles, changes in economic activity, and economic policy. So, marginal cost-benefit analysis is the primary economic principle that is being used in managerial finance. So, connected sila yung economics at saka finance because yung negosyo, they are in an economy, di ba? So, dapat alam din ang mga economic activities. So one of the major differences on the focus of finance and accounting is that, accounting na ito. So pag sinabi naman natin kasing accounting, accountants usually use accrual method, while in finance, the emphasis is cash flows. Okay, yan ang pinagkaiba ng accountants. Kasi as accountants, ang pinagbabasihan lagi dyan, accrual. Pag sinabi kasi nating accrual, ang ibig sabihin, sa accounting, magkakaroon ka na agad ng income or revenue kapag nag-render ka na ng service kahit hindi ka pa nababayaran. Okay? When it comes to expense, pwede ka nang magkaroon ng expense pag nagamit mo na yung service or na-consume mo na yung supply kahit hindi mo pa binabayaran. Basta nagamit mo na, may expense ka na dun. Okay, yun ang sa accounting. Pero sa finance, the emphasis is on cash flow. So, ibig sabihin, ang tinitingnan dito ay yung availability ng fund, saan ginamit yung fund, at saan nanggaling yung fund. Okay? So, yun na yung pinliwanag ko dito. Ayan, yung nasa baba. So, goals of the firm and the role of the finance manager. So, decision rule for managers, only take actions that are expected to increase the share price. No? Straightforward. So, gagawa ka lang daw ng action kapag ina-expect mo na tataas ang share price or yung value ng shares ng stockholders or ng firm. This rule means that whenever the financial manager decides or chooses between or among alternatives, after assessing the risk and the returns, only actions that would increase the share price shall be accepted. Otherwise, the alternative shall be rejected. So parang napakadali lang sabihin, na dapat daw ang tatanggapin lang na alternative ay yung magpapataas sa value ng share price. At pag hindi siya magpapataas, anong dapat gawin? I-reject na siya. So the goal of a firm and therefore of all manager is to maximize. Ayan. This is the ultimate goal. That is to maximize the shareholders' wealth. Okay? This can be measured by share price. So, paano malalaman kung tumataas ang wealth ng shareholders? Pag tumataas din ang kanilang share price. Okay? So, given the following opportunities, which investment is preferred? So, we have investment A and investment B. So, sabi dito, investment A daw, 14, 10, 4, and then 6, 10, 14. Total, si investment A ay 28, si investment B ay. Okay? So, sa tingin nyo, alin ang kailangan? Okay, so based on the information provided, the choice is not obvious. Siguro sa biglang tingin mo dahil mas mataas yung total return ng project B, mas yun yung dapat piliin. Okay? But profit maximization is not consistent with wealth maximization. So it may lead to the highest price due to the following reason. The first one is timing is important. Okay. So the receipt of funds sooner or rather preferred. Ibig sabihin, yung pagtanggap mo ng funds na mas madali ay mas preferred kaysa yung later. So you can see here that Project P is expected to provide a higher overall increase in earnings. Thus, it is more profitable project. Okay? Kasi nga, di ba, mas mataas yung earnings niya. But since the goal of the firm is to maximize value and therefore timing must be considered in determining which project is superior, profit maximization may lead to value maximization, but it is not an absolute case. So, ang nangyari kasi dito kay Project B, huli na yung pagtaas ng value niya. Makita natin later on lang tumaas yung value ni Project B. Another one, profits do not necessarily result in cash flow available to shareholders. So in finance, sino daw ang hari? Cash. No, cash is king. It is not unusual for a firm to be profitable. Yes, experience a cash crunch. Ang ibig sabihin kasi nito, pwedeng profitable yung negosyo pero wala siyang enough cash or enough fund. Bakit? Kasi, ang nangyari, yung sales niya, yung services niya, yung income niya, ay puro pautang. So, therefore, yung fund nasa receivable. Nandun pa sa mga customers, sa mga kliyente. Wala doon sa mismong business. That's why, wala siyang cash. Okay? They might have so much profit, but do not have enough cash to continuously run the business. So, the most common cost din dyan is when expenses have shorter due date than expected revenue. Okay? So, ang nangyari dyan, yun nga, yung revenue mo wala pa, tapos yung expenses mo naman ay hindi mo pa nagagamit, so hindi pa siya mako-consider as expense. Nasa asset pa rin siya. Okay? The other one is profit maximization fails to account for risk. Okay, risk is the chance that actual outcomes may differ from expected outcomes. So, sa financial management, kino-consider dyan yung risk at saka yung return. Kasi nga, di ba, minsan ine-expect mo ganito yung kikitain mo. Pero in reality, hindi naman talaga yun yung pumapasok na pera. Kasi nga, di ba, ang tinitingnan talaga sa financial management ay yung cash na pumasok. Yung cash na natanggap mo. And not the figure of the profit. Kasi pwede nga mataas yung profit, mataas yung return, pero saan na lang siya? Sa figure lang. Hindi siya in reality. Okay. So, financial managers administer the financial affairs of all types of business, such as private and public, large and small, profit-seeking, and not for profit. So, anong nakita natin dito? Financial management or managers are essential sa lahat ng uri ng business. Okay? Kahit na not for profit pa yan. Kasi nga, basta may fund, basta may pera, kailangan ng financial manager. Okay? So, ito yung mga ginagawa niya. Handles a firm's cash. Siya din yung nag-i-invest ng surplus fund. Siya yung nag-oversee ng firm's pension plans. Manages critical risks ng foreign currency value, interest rates, commodity prices. So the treasurer in a mature firm must make decisions with respect to handling financial planning. So, ito actually ang role ng treasurer is very critical kasi dapat meron siyang tinatawag na financial planning. Pag sinabi kasi nating treasurer, hindi lang naman yan merely pinagkakatiwalaan ng funds ng company. Dapat marunong din siyang mag-manage ng funds. The two key activities that the financial manager does as related to firm's balance sheet are as follows. The first one is the investment decision, wherein the finance manager defines the most efficient level and best structure of asset. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi kasi nating assets, these are resources that are owned and controlled by the enterprise. So, ang kasama na dyan yung mga fixed assets, kasama dyan ang cash, kasama dyan ang receivable. So, dapat yung finance manager ma-identify niya kung ano yung efficient level at yung best structure ng assets. When we say best structure, dapat gaano ba kadami yung cash, magkano ba yung limit lang dapat ng receivables, or pag may excess fund, saan ba dapat ilagay as investment. Yan. So, yun yung mga ginagawa ng financial manager. The other one is financing decision. So, the finance manager determines and maintains the proper combination of long and short and long-term financing. Okay, may mga financing kasi na short-term lang. Ibig sabihin ng short-term financing, ibig sabihin yan, babayaran mo siya. Ang maturity niya ay less than a year. So, ibig sabihin, you have to pay for it in less than a year. Pag sinabi naman natin long-term financing, ito yung mga malalaking amount na wherein you will pay interest. So, dito kasi sa short, konti lang yung interest na babayaran mo dahil nga, madali mo lang siyang dapat bayaran. Pag long-term naman, matagal mo nga siya bago bayaran, pero yung finance cost or interest na ma-i-incur mo ay mas malaki. Okay? Also, he raises the needed financing in most economical manner. So, financing decision generally refers to the items that appear on the liability and equity section of the balance sheet. So, pag sinabi naman natin financing decision, hindi naman ito lahat utang. Like I said, the sources of finance or funds can come from creditors and investors. Pag sinabi natin creditors, yun yung liability, yun yung utang. Pag sinabi natin investors, yun yung equity. They are the shareholders, okay? Or the owner, nagiging owner sila or co-owner sila ng business. So, corporate governance, ethics, and agency issues. Ito, napakahalaga ito when it comes to corporation. There should be a corporate governance. Ano ba yung corporate governance? It is a system of organizational control that defines and establishes the responsibility and accountability of major participants in an organization. So, sino ba yung mga participants sa isang organization or corporation? They are the shareholders, the board of directors, the managers and officers of the corporation, and other stakeholders. So, they are the major participants. Okay? So, yung apat shareholder, board of directors, managers, and officers. So, an organizational chart is an example of a broad arrangement of corporate governance. Kasi di ba sa organizational chart, doon mo makikita sino yung nasa top management, sino yung in charge sa ganong area, sa ganong department. Ayan. So, nandito yung responsibility ng bawat isa. So, when it comes to business ethics, ito naman yung mga standards and conduct or moral judgment that apply to persons engage in industry or commerce. So, kailangan meron tayong ethics when doing a business. Napakahalaga nito. Bakit? Kasi nga, meron tayong dapat standard na sinusunod. Dapat, dapat ay maiwasan natin ang mga bagay-bagay katulad nito. Misleading financial forecast, okay, yung financial statement na mali, ano pa, fraud, bribery, kickbacks, insider trading, yan, excess compensation, options backdating. Yan yung mga example lang ng, in short, mga pandaraya or pagmamanipulate pagdating sa negosyo. Okay? So, marami nagpa-practice niyan, lalo na yung gustong madaling umunlad yung negosyo nila. But we should also consider ethics, hindi lang yung profit, hindi lang yung pera na papasok. Tingnan natin kung ethical ba yung ginagawa natin when it comes to doing business. So, bad publicity generally results to negative impacts on a firm. Totoo yan. Nagkaroon ng bad publicity ang firm ninyo, magkakaroon yan ng negative impact sa inyo. Okay, ethics program seek to reduce lawsuits and judgment costs. Kasi 'di ba kapag unethical, kadalasan nagkakaroon ng pandaraya. Nagkakaroon ng mga demandahan, 'di ba? And also what? It upholds and preserves the positive corporate image. Kasi 'di ba na-experience niyo 'yan, pag may nabalitaan kayong negative regarding that certain entity, parang ayaw niyo nang suportahan yung product nila, 'di ba? Kasi nga they are not doing good business. Okay? Ano ba? Build trust and confidence of the shareholders. And then to gain loyalty and respect of all stakeholders. So napakahalaga ng ethics programs. So shareholders are the owners of a corporation. They purchase stocks because they want to what? To earn a good return on their investment without undue risk exposure. Kasi nga, di ba, mataas nga yung ine-expect mo or ina-anticipate mo na return sa investment mo, pero ang taas din naman ang risk. When we say risk, this is the probability that a negative outcome, that there may be a negative outcome on the undertaking. So, ibig sabihin, yung inaasahan mo ay maaaring hindi mangyari. So, in most cases, yung shareholders, nag-e-elect sila ng directors. Yun yung tinatawag natin na board of directors. Kaya nga sa corporation, meron tayong board of directors. At yung board of directors naman na yun, sila naman yung nag-hire ng managers para mag-run ng corporation on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so ganun yun shareholders, board of directors, and then managers. Okay, because managers are supposed to be working on behalf of shareholders, they should pursue policies that enhance what? The shareholder value, syempre. Not their value, not the value of the managers, but the value of the shareholders. And in order to achieve these goals, the financial manager should take only those actions that are expected to what? Kanina na-mention na natin. To increase the shareholders' value or to increase the firm's overall profit. So when managers deviate from the goal of maximization of shareholder wealth by putting their personal goals above the goals of the shareholder, this results to, ito na yon yung sinasabi ko kanina, agency problem. Bakit? Kasi nga minsan, mas binibigyang priority ng managers yung kanilang mga personal goals, yung kanilang mga personal objectives than those of the shareholders. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na agency problem because shareholders are the principal. Bakit sila consider as principal? Because they are the owner of the corporation. While managers are the agents. Okay? Agents kasi sa kanila pinagkatiwala yung management ng corporation. So, meron tayong tinatawag na agency cost. So, what are agency costs? These are the costs borne by shareholders in order to what? Avoidance of agency problem. Ayan. Siyempre, hindi naman papayag yung shareholders na ang masunod ay yung personal goals ng managers. That's why, kailangan nilang i-monitor ang ginagawa din ng mga managers. At dito napapasok yung agency cost. Hindi naman sila pwedeng mag-check personally. Anong pwede nilang gawin? They will hire auditors. They will hire someone to monitor what the managers are doing in order to ensure that the managers are what? Are prioritizing the achievement of the shareholders' goal. Yan. So agency problem and the associated agency cost can be reduced with the following. So paano daw maiwasan ang agency problem at yung cost na kaakibat nito? So ito yung mga pwedeng gawin. Properly constructed and implemented corporate governance structure. Ayan. So meron dapat maayos na corporate governance structure wherein it will have a system of check and balances to reduce the ability and incentive of management to deviate from the goal of the shareholder wealth maximization. Ano ba mga example nito? Ang example kasi nito, yung common na example nito, yung mga manager, pag sinabi kasi nating manager, they are the CEO, they are the CFO, they are the VP for operation, VP for ganyan, they are the president of the corporation. So, huwag kayong magkaroon ng thinking na kapag tinawag na president ng corporation, sila na yung may-ari. No. They are merely managers. Pero ano ba ang napapansin natin? Pag CEO ka, pag president ka, okay, you enjoy so much what? Benefit at the expense of the corporation, di ba? Ano yung mga benefits na yon? Mataas ang sweldo mo. Marami kang mga fringe benefits. Pag sinabi natin fringe benefits, yung pabahay ka, pakotse ka, pagasolina ka pa, di ba? Tapos yung iba, bumibili pa ng mga properties na ang gagamit lang naman ay yung mga executives. Anong example nun? Bibili ng yate, bibili ng helicopter, bibili ng jet, di ba? So minsan, ang nangyayari, napupunta na lang yung fund ng corporation dun sa mga bagay na yun at hindi na nagagamit para ma-maximize yung wealth ng shareholder. Kumbaga, nane-neglect yung mga shareholders. Wherein, ang shareholders naman talaga ang may karapatan dun sa corporation because they are the owner of the corporation. The reason why the corporation is running because of the finances or funds that they invested in that corporation. Okay? So, number 2 is structured expenditures through compensation plans. So this is the most popular way to deal with the agency problem. Pero, this is also the most expensive one. This could either be incentive or performance plans. So, ibig sabihin, yung incentive nung manager ay nakalink or nakatay dun sa kanyang performance. Okay? Sa performance ng share price. So, ibig sabihin ganito. Kapag ka nag-maximize or na-maximize ang wealth ng shareholder, mama-maximize din ang incentive na ibibigay sa management. So, through that, pwedeng mabalanse, di ba? Hindi lang yung own objective ng manager ang gagawin niya. Kasi kapag kayo on at bumaba ang maximization ng share price, or bumaba yung performance ng share price, bababa din ang incentive na matatanggap niya. So, ito yung isang pwedeng gawin. Okay. Another one is the market forces. Yan. It can also minimize agency problems, itong market forces na to. So, explain ko na lang. Ito yung mga ang involved dito ay itong tinatawag na institutional investors. Pag sinabi kasi natin institutional investors, they hold large quantities of shares of the corporation in their portfolio. Ibig sabihin, majority of the shares belong to them. As you know, when it comes to corporation, when it comes to decisions, ang nasusunod dito is yung vote ng bawat shareholders. And when we say vote, hindi yan yung binibilang. Kunwari, 20 yung shareholders. So, para manalo, dapat more than 10 yung shareholders na boboto, di ba? Para masabi na majority. Pero, sa corporation, hindi ganun. Sa corporation, kahit na isa ka lang o kaya dalawa kayo, kunwari, 10 kayo, okay? 10. So, 100% yun of the shares. Pero ang nangyari, itong dalawa, itong isa, 30% sa kanya. 30% ng shares pag-aari niya. The other one, 40% ng shares ng corporation ay sa kanya. Okay? Ito, tigi-ilan lang. Ngayon, pag bumoto itong dalawa na to, panalo na sila. Bakit? Kasi 30%, 40%. 70% of the shares belong to them. Kaya ang bigat ng boto nila, 70% din. Okay? So, ang botohan dyan, binabase kung gaano kalaki ang quantity of shares na meron ka dun sa corporation na yun. Ngayon, pwede yung gamitin para yung mga managers ay maobliga na i-maximize ang shareholders' wealth. Bakit? Because itong mga institutional investors na ito, pwede nilang gamitin yung kanilang voting power to elect new directors who aligned with their objectives. Ayan, no? They may use their voting power to elect new directors. Pwede lang patanggalin yung mga directors that are not performing well or they are performing poorly. Ayan. Another one, threat of hostile takeovers. When we say hostile takeovers, meron kasing mga company or group of company na ina-acquire yung mga companies that are poorly managed and undervalued. Anong gagawin nila? Bibilhin nila. Okay? So, ngayon, itong mga shareholders, sila naman ang magde-decide nun. So, nakikita nila na hindi maayos yung performance ng corporation at itong gustong mag-acquire ay isang malaking corporation na maganda ang performance. So, ano ang nangyayari? Binibenta na lang nila. Pinapa-acquire nila yung sarili nila. So, ngayon, sino ang mawawala sa eksena? Siyempre, the managers. Okay? So, it provokes managers to act in the best welfare of the firm's owners. Para nga naman, hindi sila magkaroon ng hostile takeover. Kasi pag sinabi natin hostile takeover, papalitan ang management niyan. Kasi ang magmamanage na ay yung managers nung company na nag-take over dun sa company na binili. Okay? So, those are the ways para ma-prevent ang agency problem or agency cost. So, the next slide, ito na. Ito na yung mga activities ninyo. True or false statement. Pina-assignment ko na yan. The MC. Okay. Okay, so this is the end of my lecture for Module 1 of your subject, Financial Management.